So hello everybody, welcome back to the second video. This will cover the descent and a bit of the cruise. So as you can see, we're still climbing to flight level 330. Yeah, I've turned off the. Actually, I didn't. So yeah, just a few things to say before we talk about the descent. So right now, as you can see, the thrust lever is in CL. That means climb, and that's when you have your autopilot activated. Let me just load up the FCU here. So yeah, and also just a few things about the autopilot. So I'll explain about the autopilot once I get to 330. But the speed. When you see the three dots, that means the plane will automatically control the speed for you. But if you pull it, then you have full control of the speed. So I'm gonna speed up to 310 right now. So we're gonna watch as the plane starts speeding up. It will lower the ascent rate so that it can have an easier time. And also, I want to show you a few things over here and this one. Now, first up, this is the Mach speed. Mach speed. If it says like Mach 765, that means it's Mach 77. But if it says below 5, Mach 64 or lower, then it will be Mach 76. So as you can see, right now it's Mach 8 now. 78, 78, 78, 78, 8 still. And then when it passes 4, now we're at Mach 79. So that was just a few stuff that you should know. I'll push this back in. And the way to do this is either you push out or in. Now for the heading, if you push this out, I will do, let's say I'll go to 090 now. It will say optimum climb heading. So yeah, it's your, now, basically an easy way to remember this, pull, it's your plane, push, it's plane's plane, I guess you could say. And now I'm gonna turn 120, I guess. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you get the idea. Now, if ATC tells you, hey, go around this giant cell. A cell is like a giant cloud. Then instead of actually just pressing this, you go over here and then go direct to the closest waypoint, or just the waypoint that the that the center gives you. Now, when I reach cruising altitude, I will show you a bit of about the altitude. But yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm at cruising altitude. So yeah. Alright, so I've reached cruising altitude. Now I'll just show you something about the autopilot. So I'm gonna, the wrong one, sorry. Actually no, I do need this as well. So yeah. Let's say before descent, I'm gonna set this to maybe 3250. As you can see, it won't immediately start descending. The reason for that is that you haven't pressed this. Now I'm not gonna press it because then I'll just start descending and it'll initiate the descent phase. So yeah, and this white line, this is top of descent. This is when you're supposed to start descending. And if you look at the MCDU here, you will see these numbers here below altitude. Now I just like to even them out. Like if it says 215, I'll just put it to 210 instead of 215. But on VATSIM, you're gonna have to ask the controller for descent before you even start descending. Now, yeah. So now this blue line, this represents when you'll get to that altitude. So you arrive at 250 over here. Now, to know how long you have till top of descent, you have to check this one. 733 Zulu. Now, you need to do some math in this case, because I like to start my descent planning and briefing before 15 minutes before I land, but in this case it's a bit too late. 10 minutes is perfectly fine, but sometimes it's better to give you 15 minutes because you just have more time to work around with. Now, yeah, so that's basically how the autopilot works. I'm gonna set this back to 330. By the way, it's the same thing when you start ascending. You have to push this if you want to actually start the descent. Now, it should say purple. Let's say I want to descend to flight level 100. In purple, it should say descending to 120. Now, if you don't want to do that, you have to pull on this. I'm going to demonstrate this during descent. Anyway, since we're about to start descent, let's start our briefing. We're going to start off with the weather. Well, transition altitude 7,000 feet, and this altitude. Runway use is 34, and heading 333. So I'm gonna go into performance. It should say enter destination data. That's when you know that you should enter destination data. QNH 1020. Temperature 19, and winds. Now I'm not sure about this part. I'm not sure where it says the wind angle, so I usually just set it to 0.000 at 1 knot. Transition altitude 7,000 feet. Again, if you remember from the last video, transition altitude is the altitude which you set this to standard, but in this case we're going to set it to QNH 10020. Now we go to radio navigation. Just to make sure, we check the course, which is 333. That's correct. Now in the Airbus, it will automatically set it for you, but sometimes it can be incorrect. Sorry about that. So we're gonna go to runway 34. Now, sorry, I accidentally selected store. So here, I'm gonna try to find Bravo Lima Mike. So we're taking Bravo Lima Mike to Golf, and yeah. So let's just take a look at the charts. For the purpose of descent planning, expect to cross 30 nautical miles to Bravo Lima Mike above 190 Bravo Lima Mike between 200 and 150. Zulu Hotel 677 at 120. So this means that we're supposed to pass Bravo Lima Mike at 190. So I'm gonna set 190 over here, and then yeah, we're just gonna follow what it says on the in the MCDU. Speed restriction, obviously 250 below 100, and here are the frequencies for the VORs in case you need them. Yeah, this is just in a different language, but RNAV 5 arrivals to Gipol holding. So yeah, there's a holding at Gipol. Here you'll see all the information. At 7,000 feet or 240. Max indicated airspeed will be 230 and 1 minute. You need to do 1 minute and then a return. And yeah. So let's go to. Oh, sorry. Let's go to routing. Bravo Lima Mike. Zulu Hotel 677 and Gipol. Now we're gonna check this. This shows all the frequencies and also the frequency. Let's go to approach. Runway 34, we're taking ILS 34. Alright. So just to double check, localizer will be frequency 11075. Final approach course 333. Yep, here's all the information. We're not gonna look at that one yet, because we need to plan this. So an approach was supposed to be at 6,000 feet. There's a holding at Kilo Lima Oscar, which is Kloten VOR. And yeah. So over here, it set this to performance. I think this means decision altitude, so we're gonna set this to 2070. Oh. Maybe I just set it to minimum descent altitude. Oh, 690. Alright, 690. Alright, yeah, so now we're gonna look at the missed approach. Climb straight ahead, initial climb 5,000 feet at 5.5 DME. The Sierra past the station left, turn left. Max IAS 185 during turn. Intercepts Romeo 259 from Zulu Uniform Echo. Continue climb to 7,000 feet, proceed to Gipple. And you should hold at Gipple to reconfigure and then go direct to Utixo to go down there. Now, for parking, we're landing 3-4. We're gonna hopefully vacate on Echo 4 or Echo 6 if that's even possible. And I'm gonna go to 3-3 or 3-1, any of these at Doc Bravo. So yeah, that's the briefing complete. I'll come back to you once we're at top of descent. Alright, I'm back. A few more things to mention. Well, first, auto brake, we're gonna set that. Now we check the checklist. We have the Mentor, which is fine. MCDU, we have performed all of these, so it's checked. Navigation accuracy, it's high, so that's checked. Auto brake, low, seatbelt sign on, anti-ice as required. So we won't need any anti-ice because it's warm enough, and I believe you're supposed to have anti-ice when it's below 10 degrees, maybe even more than that. So yeah, I'll set this to approach checklist for now. So we have a little bit left till we get to top descent. A few seconds left. Now, just so you know, it's not like the 737. The VNAV is not the same, like at all. You have to manually press this when you want to start your descent. So we're just gonna wait until we see decelerate. When we see decelerate over here, that means we automatically we're gonna start descending. But we're gonna have to press this ourselves. Okay, decelerate, now we can push that, and now we're starting descent. Thrust idle and descent starting. Now we have started our descent into Zurich, and yeah, right now we just monitor the aircraft and we make sure that nothing goes wrong. So yeah, again, another disclaimer, I'm not a real pilot, this is just how I do it, and yeah, that's why. So if you want, you can change the temperature, but yeah, you can see what they're saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you annoy the hell out of them, they're gonna get pissed off. I'm just gonna set that to cold. I wanna see if they will tell me anything. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. So it says that we're gonna arrive at 190 at Zulu Hotel 677. I don't really want that, but might as well just demonstrate how this works. You can either pull or push on this one if you want to do this. But I'm just gonna set it back to to automatic descent, just to demonstrate. So you can use this if you want, but you don't have to. Now, just so you know, you will see these two lines and then this when you start your descent. So the plane is gonna attempt to stay between all of these speeds, so between 260 and 300. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's so that you get a good descent. Now, once you're below 10,000, it's gonna start slowing down. So yeah, that's basically how it works. So while I'm back, I just decided to start descending to 6,000 feet. Because last time I flew here, I was so unstable on approach, so I had to go around. So I'm just gonna set this. I'm just gonna arm that. We're gonna double check everything. Now I can go to ILS, and we can set it here if we want. If I want, so I'm just gonna demonstrate that as well. I'm just gonna double check the frequency just to make sure. Alright, 11075. 1075. So there's another way you could do it. I just like to show it to you. And yeah, so this is optional, but some areas of Zurich has a quite of terrain. So if you want, you can turn this on so that you can see the terrain everywhere. So yeah. So Geneva's, I think it's over there, Geneva. Alright, now I might as well just start explaining what we're gonna do on approach. So, on approach, might as well just bring this up. I'm just gonna change this. Alright, we are also gonna need this. So I'll put this here. So on approach, what we're gonna do. Well, since we have entered everything in here, set this up here. Everything in performance page, sorry. So yeah, since we have entered everything here, when we're on final, we're gonna activate approach phase. Now what this will do is this will start us, this will make us slow down and go into and then let us land. So what I turn on LS over here, this is what you can use to see the glide slope and stuff like that. So when we're gonna turn on APPR and then Autopilot 2, then it should say local LOC in blue, Cat 3 dual, Autopilot 1 and 2. Then we're gonna say localizer Cat 3 dual, Autopilot 1 and 2. Localizer Cat 3 dual, Autopilot 1 and 2. Now, yeah, so that's basically what you're gonna see. So it won't like let's say you're below the glide slope, it won't climb all the way to the glide slope. It will just stay at your current altitude, and then when you capture it, it will start descending it by itself. Now, usually after when I'm like 5 nautical miles out, I would turn off the autopilot and then start landing by myself. And 10 nautical miles, I'll put the gear down. Here you will see a checklist for the landing, and you just gotta follow it and make sure that nothing is in blue. So, yeah. Also, you don't have to turn off auto throttle during landing, because when you set it to when you retard it, then it will automatically turn off by itself. So that's when we're going to start our flare. If you want, you can use the flight path vector. That's what I do usually, but you don't have to. It's optional. Yeah. So when we're at 20 feet and we hear retard, we're gonna start our flare. Well, that's usually when I started my flare, and also retard the throttles. And yeah, land at the airport. So after we land, on the lower ECAM display, we should see the flight controls page. And when you see spoilers or the speed brakes when they point up, you're gonna say this: speed brakes up, reverse. When you're gonna start your reverse, when the reverse says green, REV is in green, you're gonna say reverse green, and then when you're slowing down, decel. So once you're at 70 or 60 knots, reversers can come off, and manual brakes. Now either you can take a high speed one, and that's when I think you can vacate at like a speed of 50 knots ground speed, which this is our ground speed. That's why you won't see this one rise. This is our ground speed, just to make sure, and true airspeed. So yeah, also I forgot to do that. So yeah, that's what you're gonna do. And when you vacate, you're gonna have to turn landing lights off, runway turn-offs, and set this to taxi light. You're gonna start up the APU, and what I also like to do is just set the the FCU and everything. But you don't have to do that. So yeah, I'll be back when I'm on approach. So I'm back. There's the airport. We're landing on that runway. So at Zurich, we're gonna do a very sharp turn over here, so I just decided, so I like to do it beforehand. So like I said, you're gonna start slowing down. Now just to help this out, we can use some speed brakes. So yeah, we're about to approach 7,000, and that's when we're gonna pull this. Make sure that the arrow is pointing down, and then we're gonna pull that and set our QNH. So this one, I believe it means like best glide speed, and then this line means when you can retard the throttles. Put flaps. So right now I can go flaps 1, but I'm not gonna do it yet. Alright, we're at 7,000 now, so we can go 1, 2, 0. 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, now I'm just gonna set it to flaps 1. Speed is checked, flaps 1. And if you want, you can turn them on now, but I like to do it when we're on final. So I'm gonna activate approach phase. Again, localizer, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. So yeah, turn this up a little bit. Okay, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2. We don't need that anymore, so I'm just gonna arm that. Alright, Sliding table slowed. External lights. Well, I'm gonna turn them on fully when. Actually, hang on. Let's see if this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so they don't say anything. Claps full. Speed check. Claps full. External light. Whoa. Oh. Yeah, we can cancel that. We don't need that. It doesn't matter because we're so far out. External lights set. Seatbelts. They are on. Pressurization. Let's check that. Yep, that's checked. Alright, so when I line up, I'm gonna put down the gear. Or when I'm 10 nautical miles out. Alright, I'm gonna turn on those lights now. So winds are changing quite a bit, but I think that's because of the turn. So I'm gonna turn this on because this will just make it easier for you to land. You don't, it's not needed, just to demonstrate. I'm gonna use it. I mean, then again, I use it all the time. We're nearly 10 nautical miles out. I'm not sure why it's not following the I'll capture the localizer. We're going Cat 3 single. Alright, we're 10 nautical miles out, gear down. Taxi light 6 to take off, miss approach altitude, I believe it was, yeah. Spoilers on the landing memo, no blue. We'll wait for the landing memo. Localizer Cat 3 to Autopilot 1 and 2. I'm not sure why you're not descending. Okay, yeah, in that case I'll just turn off the autopilot. Alright, going manual. Usually it wants to capture the localizer before we actually start descending, which I hate that, because flight director's off. Now, to demonstrate, I'm also gonna load these up. I gear down, 3 green.
$2,500.
ECAM memo, no blue. So yeah, we're fully, where we can land right now. It's just that we're so high. It does happen quite a lot on runway 34. So I believe the green dot, that means when you're approaching the altitude which you're supposed to be at. So yeah, when you see the green dot, that's when you know that you're pretty close to the altitude you're supposed to be. Alright, we can now decrease the, we don't need as, we can decrease the rate of descent now. So, hands on throttle. So, listen to what I say, and then you're gonna have to do that.
100 above.
100 above.
Approaching 3,
Minimum.
4.
Continue.
$500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 20. 10. 5.
Long landing. Long landing. 8,000.
Great landing.
feet
Alright,
remaining.
decel, spoilers, speed brakes up. Reverse screen. Reverses can come off. Manual brakes, speed brakes
4,000
retracted. Alright, let's do the rollout now. You can start up the APU now. Start. Landing lights off. Sorry. Taxi lights and runway turnouts can come off. Alright, so now we are at Zurich. We will taxi to the gate. Turn that off. Weather radar off. Can turn this off now. After landing, spoilers are retracted, engine mode selector norm, flaps are retracted, transponder standby, brake temperature. Alright, let's just check that it's below. Yep, that's fine. So we don't need any fans. External lights off, APU is starting, and engine and wing anti-ice off. So, just so you know, the ground speed is over here, so you need to do that. So you need to check that, not the indicated airspeed.
Approaching 10.
So so we can just check if there's any departing or arriving traffic, but we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now I just taxi to the gate and do the shutdown. Okay, and we're gonna park next to this tap particle. Okay. And park over here. So, we have the APU available. We can turn off 1 and 2. So don't worry if that happens. Well, I mean, if you have the APU available, that won't happen. Well, it won't shut down completely either below 20, so I can turn off beacon. And I will connect the ground power and chokes. Activate that. Just gonna do a few stuff before I open up the doors. So yeah, just follow the things that I'm doing right now. And off of that. Call the stairs. Baggage loaders. Alright, so welcome to Zurich. Thank you all for watching. Hope this was a helpful tutorial. And yep, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.